Welcome to BCN's Weather Center. Thank you so much for tuning in and staying with us. Let's get right to your weather. Most of the northern Bahamas experienced ground fog in the morning hours. Temperatures and dew point were within plus or minus 3 degrees of each other, and light winds were occurring. That's a perfect ingredient for fog, and as a result of that, aviation traffic was slowed down as they were trying to find their way into these airports that were blanketed with ground fog. A frontal system towards the west coast of Florida. This front's going to be moving towards the east, and it will clip just to the north of the Abacos in time, and a low-pressure center will develop along that frontal system as it goes just to the northeast of the Abacos in Grand Bahama. Let's show you how the system's been moving over the past 12 hours. Look at it. Everything's racing from west to southeast. That's indicative of the movements of frontal system. When you have colder air trying to override warm air, it's called a front. And that's what's happening around this time of year. Let's take a look at the cloud coverage from our satellite infrared technology. We've got just a few clouds around the Abacos and just around Nassau. Let me bring it a little closer to you so you can see the cloud just a bit south of, just across the Nassau Airport and then into the Andros along to Congo Town. Cloud coverage between Bimini and also Freeport. That's producing, incidentally, that's producing some showers and thunderstorms. You can see it on the radar, very well defined from West End and Freeport, extending down to across Great Isaacs and into Bimini early on in the day. Still, as a result of that frontal system that's moving through, it's a good chance that you have 30% chance of showers in the forecast for today, Abaco and Grand Bahama. Daytime high temperature, the winds today, 5 to 10 knots coming in from the south-southwest here in Abaco, Grand Bahama, actually up and down the coast of the chain of islands, 5 to 10 knots. Light winds occurring, great for boating if you want to go out. Don't plan to go too far from port. Daytime high temps averaging in the upper 70s, except the nation's capital that's shooting into 80 as a high. 20-degree differentials between night and day, dropping down to 60 degrees. You will notice the difference in temperature in the nation's capital. Abaco 75 and 65. Grand Bahama will be posting 75 and 60. 15-degree difference between day and night. The southern Bahamas, nice and mild, 77 and 73. For tomorrow, we've got this frontal system that's going to be clipping the Abacos and Grand Bahama and then breaking off to the north as a low-pressure center develops right along the front, somewhere about here, just about 60 miles, 80 miles north of Abaco. Northeast of Abaco, the low pressure is expected to form, but it will ride up towards the northeast. And as a result of that, the winds will pick up late on Thursday, generally 10 knots southeast to south during the day. But by evening, the winds will pick up over the northern Bahamas, Abaco and Grand Bahama, because of the proximity of that low-pressure center. The nation's capital might also possibly see some increase in winds on Thursday evening. Southern Bahamas, 10 to 15 knots from the east and southeast. Here's a forecast for Friday. We got this frontal system that's going to be continuing, second frontal system that's going to be making its way to the southeast. This will, again, increase our weather winds for the weekend. For Friday, starting out today, 10 to 15 knots from the southeast and south. They'll clock around to the southwest, 20 to 30 knots in the northern Abacos, including Baker's Bay, Green Turtle Key, Cooperstown, and beyond, possibly Treasure Key as well. And I'm also believing that some of the 20 to 30 might be drifting down as far as Marsh Harbor and Man of War Key. The nation's capital should be okay with 10 to 15, Grand Bahama 10 to 15, and throughout the remainder of the Bahamas from the southeast, 10 to 15 knots. Saturday, the winds pick up again, 15 to 20 from the north-northeast, as that frontal system would have gone through, bringing in with it a few stray showers, and the temperature should be reducing somewhat, again 15 to 20 knots. Here's your boating forecast. Seas building 3 to 5 feet today, 5 to 10 knot winds from the south-southwest. Whale Key should be okay, 5 to 10 knots in the southern Bahamas from the south-southwest, 3 to 5 foot seas. High tides on the full moon occurring 7:26 in the morning, low at 2 in the afternoon, high at 7:45 in the evening. Great for fishing off the rocks. If you have a passion for that, this is a great time for you to do so. From BCN's Weather Center, I'm Silbert Mills. Our weather is brought to you by our partners at Sky Bahamas Limited.